Toot toot, all aboard the hype train. Today we have the Voyager 14. I'm going to do just kind of like a pre-review, give me my sort of first week impressions for these bad boys. Might change some opinions depending on if I find different sources, cables. I don't believe in cables, but you know, things affecting these IEMs that I didn't catch. So let's go over a few things. These are definitely 14 balanced armatures. All top of the line, meaning there's no Belsings in here. There's quad BAs, quad Sonion, top of the line. They're very top of the line. Vented base BAs, kind of right on the other side of that vent there. And because they're vented, back end of the IEM is hollow. Basically, the base has a very, I'm going to call it light and fluffy texture. It sounds extremely close to an open back headphone, which is what? I like it. It's a very unique presentation for bass for a IEM. It took me kind of a bit to figure out like what I was listening to, what I was hearing, but yeah, open back, kind of like, wow. Extremely wide bass presentation. I don't necessarily hear that in all of the drivers, being the wideness. I'm guessing they're not vented like the bass ones are. I don't know. But so yeah. Next we have the mids. So these guys have switches, which I've been playing with a lot the last couple days. They have 4 positions up, you know, obviously two dip switches. So one is bass up. Okay, 0 0, you know, off is balanced. 1 up is bass up. 2 up is treble up. And if you put them both up, you get kind of a mid dip, which is an interesting way to do that, I guess. Kind of, I'll call it like party mode. I'm not really a huge fan because it kind of sucks the mids out more than I like. So in balanced mode, the mids on these is full, it is rich, it is almost too much for me. It depends on the track and blah, 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 but I appreciate the fact that the mids are completely there. There's no dips, no nothing. They are full, bold, rich, all those wonderful things. So what's real interesting, I kind of just figured this out, is that if you flip the treble switch up, number 2 switch, you get not necessarily just treble going up, but you also get a little bit, let's see, how can we say, the first part of the mid bump is a little higher, and then it dips down a little faster than the balanced switch section. So to my ears, that's actually a little more relaxing, a little more easy listening. Plenty of mids, but not the high mids. They're a little bit rolled off compared to like the balanced mode in treble mode, which is like, that's interesting. And then moving up into the higher treble range, so like, have to look at it again, but about 9K to probably about 13 or 14K, the treble switch up makes a nice flat line. There's no dips, it is just flat. And that ends up sounding super clear, no sibilance. I want to repeat, no sibilance on any tracks, any circumstances, nothing. These things are tuned well. I actually love the treble up switch now. It's so clear, so detailed. You get this like tactile treble. See, like you get a cymbal hit. It's like it's right in front of you in the room, which if you've ever had a cymbal hit right in front of you, it's like, whoa, that's intense. Maybe even too much for a person. These aren't quite as much as a treble, a cymbal being hit right in front of your face, but it's good. It's real good. It's tactile. Like you can hear that hit. OCD details like crazy. Nice, wide, large sound stage in the upper treble. The pinpoint accuracy of instruments is incredible. You know, like if there's vocals panned up the center, they're just right smack in front of you. Maybe people call them intimate even, which is an interesting contrast to the bass, which seems, like I said, open back. It gives a intimate and yet airy feeling, which is weird. I think I'm kind of getting to say that these are extremely unique in their presentation. Never heard anything like it. I'm not going to get too crazy with stuff at this point in time. I would say that I think quad electrostatic drivers, such as are on the Shure EJ07, produce more OCD detail treble, but only between about, say, 7 and 9K. It kind of rolls off, well, maybe 10K, rolls off after that on the EST drivers. So what these do is they're amazing, not quite up to the level of the EST drivers. I'll say this, these are $1,000. If you were to toss in quad ESTs and these, say you remove a couple BAs and you put those in, the price is going to go up to like, I think we were figuring it out online, but like, $500 to $600 as a minimum. So these are going to bump way up. So the question becomes, well, do you want to do that sort of thing? And I don't know. I'm pretty in love with these right now. I mean, they're not lacking in any respect. I hear the EST drivers as being like having some extra special thing I've never heard in anything before. So that's cool. So I just wanted to give everyone a little bit of a rundown. Genres these do well with, actually everything. It's amazing. Usually if I play, like I listen to pretty extreme music from time to time. We're talking like extreme heavy metal, grindcore, like, really dense, extreme high-end stuff. These do great, and a lot of chi-fi doesn't. You'll get a Piercy high-end, like somewhere in the high mids that just, you can't deal with it. It's just too much. These do it well. Vocals, wow. Acoustic instruments, jazz, just the open back really accentuates that stuff. And honestly, it's interesting because I don't necessarily hear that the entire bass range is sort of an open back. It's almost like there's like the sub bass range is more wide and fluffy, and then the mid bass is nice and tight and punchy, and it's just real interesting. What else? Right now I am enjoying very much the treble up switch. There's a graph online that shows the bass dropping way off if you have the treble up on. I think it's wrong because the bass is wonderful with the treble up switch, and it does not feel like it's dipped out in any way, shape, or form. If you put the bass switch up and the treble down, that's like a bass head, it really is. They become very bass heavy, very sub-tactile, bassy, resonant. It's great, but I want to say the best part of these is probably going to be the mid to high end range. But I mean, I do like the open back bass a lot. It's extremely unique and it's glorious. But I guess the unique part of these may be, I mean, I'm assuming other IEMs use those vented Sonion bass BAs. But the treble range on this is just glorious. So that's got two BAs. I think they're Knowles SWFK. I probably have that wrong for the. There's two of those for the quote-unquote treble, and then four. I'm not sure the brand, but four. So quad BAs per thing for per IEM for treble over 10K, and it's just like, what? That's just insane. Like, no, not a lot of IEMs do that. So yeah, the detail in that upper range is it's next level. I've never heard it. So top of the line tuning, I mean, I think it probably is. I only have heard stuff like, say, 1,000 and below. So, but right now I'm going to give these like pretty much a huge thumbs up for $1,000. They seem like a really, really good deal. Tuning is spot on. 4 sound signatures you can pick from depending on your mood or preferences. I should say they work really well with my ES100. It's like a low-powered device, not bad. Plenty of bass, plenty of everything. They level up like a hair from X Duo, as you might expect. Maybe a little more meaty. Yeah. I don't hear one as being super better than the others. Some other IEMs have more of a synergy with one or the other. So they're easy to drive, not like 20 ohm, I believe is what I read. The tips, which I didn't pull out of the box, are actually great. They're memory foam, but I don't know, they're great. I never had anything like them. They're better than Comply, and they give me the best seal ever. So, wow. Other things, the I am almost positive that the polarity in this connector, which is a QDC connector, is normal. That is negative to the front of the IEM, because I can see the wires. And I'm assuming they didn't wire this thing like, well, it's using red and green wires. The standard would be red would be positive, so I'm assuming they didn't screw that up. So that would be negative to the front. And so that means these are not going to be able to use QDC connector cables. They'll be reverse polarity. And people say that doesn't matter, and I don't care what they say. It does matter. Yeah, so my opinion is these are just awesome. Just awesome. Grab them up, man. If you got the $1,000 and you want detail, like godlike detail, wonderful sound stage, incredible bass, yeah.